And I don't know where to begin and what to really talk in today's life, because what we witnessed was something beyond words, something beyond anything that I witnessed. As an RCB fan, I'm heartbroken once again. I just don't like being here like this. We did not even play today, guys. I don't even know how it ends up breaking my heart without even us playing. 263, the record which we held with, great pride, has been broken by SRH, and SRH ended up scoring 277, and Mumbai ended up conceding 277. Let's put it that way, because unbelievable. I mean, I've seen great things happen in cricket. I've seen some extraordinary batting, but this was some crazy. That day, I witnessed an RCB game. I was like, okay, Gale did it, right? But this was some insane batting. And in reply, Mumbai ended up scoring 246. You're telling me a team scored 246 in the second innings has not won a game? How often that does it? How often does that happen? And to add to all this, it was minute margins, man. What a crazy game of cricket! More than 500 plus runs in a T20 game. And Travis Head again haunting Indians like the way he likes. He saw the name Indians and he was like, you know what, boys, let's take them on. Quina Mafaka, just made his IPL debut, had a horrendous game. Hardik Pandya, a night to forget for him in all bases captaincy when it comes to his batting, everything. I have Sandeepani with me. Sandeepani, what do you describe this game? How do you describe this game? And how do you put it in any way? Because I'm out of words right now.
Yeah, if I'm Hardik Pandya, I know he is all jolly and good. He was all jolly and good during the post-match conference as well. But if I am Hardik Pandya, I wouldn't be going back to Wankhede, because I know he has been getting quite a lot of unnecessary hate as well. But I feel the way he's playing, some of the hate is necessary from a logical fan's perspective as well. If I would have been a Mumbai Indians fan, I think it's a game that Hardik Pandya would, like you said, like to forget, because with the bat, with the ball, well, with the ball was his probably his best suit. For considered 46 of 4 overs, but ended up scoring only 24 of the 3.2 overs that he batted, which was half of what the others were going at. And it was interesting to see him really appreciating all the other batters. Like Rowe got a start, Ishan Kishan did his part as well. Tim David batted well. Then you had Tilak Verma scored a good 50. Apart from him, because I think he is the weakest link. He was the weakest link today. And if you talk about captaincy, I think it was very, very mediocre. Somebody with the team that he has, he is very happy to call it a young side, an inexperienced side. But on the
How
other
can you
hand,
call that inexperience? I really don't get it,
I
because
have no
you
clue. I have
possibly
no
have
clue.
the best team in the tournament.
I think he just saw Mafaka and he said, "Okay, under 19 player." But then, if you're playing a youngster, if a youngster is playing his first IPL game, why would you give him 4 overs? First of all, it's not that
No, my
Mumbai Indians do
question
not
is,
have
how did
enough bowling options.
Mafaka get that nod ahead? No, the boy just came to India. He has played what, under 19 cricket, little bit of cricket in South Africa, and to put him in an IPL game without. Okay, I understand Mumbai Indians have got this reputation of trying out new players, but bro, you had a Nuwan Tushara in your wings. Luke Wood, I don't know what happened. He did a decent job in the first game, and to go to this particular approach, I was very surprised. You even had Romario Shepherd who came to bat. He can also ball. So it was very surprising that they went with the Mafaka. And there's no criticism on him, because that boy is helpless at this point, because you put him there, you put him in that position, and now you have to feel the brunt of it. And how are you surprised that Bumrah, who's possibly a best bowler, doesn't take the new ball? And where do you bring him to ball when everything is done?
Yeah, I think what the lesser we speak about Hardik Pandya's captaincy today, the better it is, because I mean Mafaka and Pandya came in to open the bowling, and Sunrisers Hyderabad, Travis said made it clear from the first ball itself that he was not going to sit down and let a youngster settle down, as he mentioned as well in the post match conference. But also you have to think the likes of Abhishek Sharma coming in at number 3, scoring 50 of 16 deliveries, another great effort, and then Henrik Klassen coming in and providing the perfect finish for them. Because mind you, if it would have been a game of two halves, Mumbai Indians started off brilliantly as well with the bat, 146 for 2 in 10 overs. They were just 4 runs or 4 to 5 runs behind Sunrisers Hyderabad at the halfway stage, and
Yeah.
they were ahead of the required rate at the halfway stage with 8 wickets
Yeah.
in hand, with the likes of Tim David, probably even a Devil Brevis, waiting in the ranks. Mumbai Indians bats deep, we know that. So I really don't know where it went wrong. Hardik Pandya once again tried to be, I don't know, the best finisher in the world, and he finished Mumbai off in style.
Yeah, possibly that's the right way to put it. Do you reckon this captaincy is slowly turning into a joke at this point? I mean, I still think Mumbai Indians have a terrific team to win this IPL. I still think they can be a turnaround. I mean, don't judge them by 2 games. It's often the mistake a lot of people do. I still think that team is solid. The team is very good. You saw that today. With the way
Yeah.
they batted, you saw that. You saw what they can do.
I'm
I
not
mean,
going to judge any team based on 2 games, because the last time I did that, Australia went on to win the ODI World Cup.
yeah.
So
So even Australia went on to lose the first 2 games, rightly pointed out. But the funny part is he's not serious at this point. He looks like he walked out dancing in the while batting. He looks like he has no idea what is happening. Everything is very chill, laughing and giving encouragement. Looks very nice, but
the more you
he's
want
just
to support
showboating
that
at this
guy, the
point.
more you want to. I mean, it's not right for an Indian player of so much of credibility. He, after all, he's our best fast bowling all rounder that we have got in the last 10 to 15 years. We haven't, and even beyond that as well. I don't see a better fast bowling all rounder that India has produced in a long time. And so it's not nice to see somebody of this credible, I mean, of this credibility to get booed continuously, of this credibility to get this sort of hatred from India itself. But then again, I mean, the some of the decisions that he is taking, or the opportunities that he has got as a captain, the more we see of it, the more it looks like Ashish Nehra was the reason why. Ashish Nehra and the management, Gary Kirsten and the think tank, was the reason why Gujarat Titans were winning, and not Hardik Pandya, because he was pretty ordinary with his captaincy in the for the Indian team as well. That's a criticism that we had. He was very casual, to say the least, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
very
he looks
casual. We
at
went on to lose that series in
influential
West Indies,
players.
didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. And I just get this feeling he looks at all these influential players around the world. He looks at a Ben Stokes and feels like he can captain like a Ben Stokes. He looks at
Yeah,
a
I think
MS Dhoni and
he
feels like he
used few
can finish.
statements even then, right? I like to be unique. It's a good
Yeah,
record.
I don't
We
know.
lost.
I mean, unique is nice as long as it is on the winning side. I think this sort of unique is just pathetic, hopeless.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it did not make any sense to me. I mean, what is he trying to build there? Obviously, there's something about him as a captain for sure. Let's not give all credit to Ashish Nehra. There's a reason why he was appointed captain. But somewhere down the line, at this point, I think everything is getting to him that he's lost it somewhere. I mean, let's be very honest. I just feel he's showboating way too much, and nothing
Hmm.
is working in his favor. His captaincy decisions has been just ridiculous. To not give Bumrah the first over and to set the game, set the tone of the game right there, and to preserve him, I don't know for what. You really had to be smacked for 277 runs. But I think we speak enough of Mumbai Indians. Let's give credit to SRH on the other
Yeah,
end.
and
What do
just
you make
talking
of the
about, I
batting?
mean, you're talking about the bowling decisions that Hardik Pandya took today. What about the batting decisions? We wanted Hardik Pandya to come in ahead of number 7 with the bat, but in a game where 130 needed of 9.3, 9.4 overs, Hardik Pandya sort of a player right now. He's not a finisher. They could have easily promoted a Tim David, and things would have gone. Things could have gone the other way as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, why is he misreading situations time and time again? Last game is where he had to come at number 5. He did not come. This game is where he had to come at number 6, and he let himself come up, and he played that 20 ball, 24 runs, which really was detrimental.
I
But
think
I
that
really
was
thought Mumbai
criminal.
Indians bat really
Criminal at
well.
that point. Chasing 278, you are playing 1/6 of the deliveries and scoring say 1/12 of the runs. Not even that, 1/14 of the runs. That's
I
just
mean, you
criminal.
were on track. The team was on track when Namandir and
Yeah,
Tilakarma were batting.
exactly.
They had a run rate of close to 15, and that was phenomenal at that time. And you really look like, okay, you know what? Maybe there's a good shout for a win. And from there on to lose the plot, okay, yeah, obviously they were chasing the game. They were chasing really behind. They were trailing big time in that game. But let's be honest, they could have still pulled it off at the end of the day as a
Yeah,
batting front.
and not to forget that Sunrisers Hyderabad do not have a very good death bowling attack. Pat Cummins this time around showed more responsibility, taking at least one over at the death. But they did not even have a Natarajan. They had to bowl the likes of Unadkat and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And I think Unadkat bowled brilliantly today. We have to give credit where credit is
Yeah,
due. He was a bit one-dimensional with the slower deliveries, but then again, Tim David and Hardik Pandya couldn't really capitalize on it. So as long
yeah.
as you are successful, 47 for 2 in 4 overs, defending 277 is a commendable job. Brilliant job
Right now, I'm
for them.
happy that GT released Pandey and given that arrogant to MI. Possibly, I mean, it's, whatever you feel like. But I personally think, you know, given all that criticism from Mumbai, let's give some credit to SRH for today's their batting, right? I mean, what an excellent batting performance. Class in once again, class above the rest. And talk about Abhishek Sharma 16 ball 50, Travis had an 18 ball 50. I mean, today you really saw their full batting potential, like we all worried about. I mean, this is their full batting potential. You know what they
I mean,
can
I'm
do
happy that the
on their pitches.
KKR game is done with. I wouldn't have been happy if Travis Head would have done the same thing to KKR. But all the
Travis
more
did not
reason why
play,
the
right?
first game, yeah, all the more reason why the first game selection was pathetic. You have 4 overseas options and you are dropping Travis Head and giving this Aiden Markram and Heinrich Klaassen the 2 slots. And probably I think Marco Janssen. Today they went with the right combination because I feel they have enough bowlers. Pat Cummins is enough to be a fast bowler. I mean, especially in flat tracks. On flat tracks, you need players like Travis Head and even a Glenn Phillips wouldn't have been a bad shout because given the conditions, I am sure short boundaries, given conditions, he would have also come in and scored 50 of 20 deliveries. But then again, to have a world class batter like Travis said not be there in the first game was a crime. But then again, they made amends very quickly. And going forward, I think this is the right combination for them. Probably with a fit Natarajan, I would like to see the impact sub being used a bit better. Umran Malik, I don't know. I think he has lost all his mojo, all his confidence to see the least because I don't see any of the captains showing any faith in Umran Malik. Today he bowled 1 over. The last time he came in as an impact sub in the last season, he bowled the 1 over to KKR, considered 20-21 runs, was taken off the bowling. And this is something that, I mean, especially towards at the last over, Pat Cummins, I know the time management is an important factor, but I still feel that you could have given Umran Malik a bit of confidence giving him that last over.
Yeah, give the last over. Yeah, I felt the same. I just don't know why captains don't trust him. Maybe there could be something that they are saying which we are not seeing. So that's something which we will know. And I think also it was Murali Dharan who went on to make few statements on Umran Malik in one of the shows which I attended. So we do not know what's going in head of that young bowler. I mean, we wish him the best. I hope he comes back very soon because he's talented, but at the same time, pace doesn't get you everywhere. You need to have a little bit of smartness. Dale Steyn balled 150, but he knew where to pitch the ball at 150. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. You can be blessed with all the pace you have in the world, but if you do not know how to use that pace to your advantage, then boy, you're gonna go for a lot of runs. And exactly what's happening with Umran Malik. It's a curious case of Umran Malik, and it's a sad one to be very honest. But we wish him the best. We wish him that he comes
Yeah.
back pretty strong.
And also, let's
Mm,
talk about a very important tactical call from Sunrisers Hyderabad. I think Pat Cummins was brilliant in giving Shahbaz Ahmed the new ball. Uh,
yeah,
Mumbai Indians started off brilliantly, 50 of
I
the
thought it was a
first three
bad
overs.
call. It just worked in their favor.
No, I
I
think
thought.
it was a ponting sort of a call. If you remember the 2006 Wanderers game, with Graham Smith going bonkers 50, 90 of 54 deliveries, he gave the ball to Michael Clark. It turned out well because I mean when left hand is up and power play going in that over, and I think that was the wrong approach. I think it was Pat Cummins was playing more on the approach rather than the. I mean, it was Pat Cummins had the chance to pick up a wicket because the fast bowlers had nothing, nothing to offer on this pitch.
I agree. I agree. I mean, there was nothing on the pitch. I mean, that was a ridiculous pitch for cricket, to be very honest. You should not give anything to the batters, but it also shows, I mean, where T20 cricket can possibly head. I mean, if this is the kind of wickets you're gonna get, this is the power we have. We might see even 277 being broken in the near future. It looks like 277 can. I mean, I thought tonight it could be broken. I mean, that's how close we were for breaking
Yeah,
277 in the very
and
night.
I think Mumbai
So
Indians had the pedigree. If you talk about any team that can go out there and chase 277, the only team that comes to my mind is Mumbai Indians because
I think
you have a
Chennai is
lot
a
of
good shout
factors
as
playing.
well.
Chennai is a good shout as well, but you haven't had Chennai come in and chase 200 totals in excess of 200 with ease and with confidence. It has
Yeah,
happened rarely, and I mean, the likes of Jadeja and Dhoni have done it in the past. But given the current scenario, I don't see Chennai coming in and chasing 278.
I agree. I agree. But today Mumbai batted with a lot of fearless way, batted in a very fearless way. Because I also felt like they did like, you know what? There's nothing to
They had
lose.
nothing
Let's
to
just go out
lose.
there and swing the
Honestly,
bat.
when you're chasing 278, you have nothing to lose.
Exactly, and that's exactly how they played. And it also shows when you play that way in T20 cricket, you can get runs. You don't have to worry. I mean, I think today was a clear display of how T20 cricket can be played, and where T20 cricket can be taken up to in levels. I mean, if you're going to play that way with absolute zero fear, take on any bowling attack in the world, you can. I mean, let's be honest, Mumbai Indians bowling attack is possibly the best in the entire IPL. If you look at them in the paper, with could say Bumrah, the likes of Uada and Mafaka played, but either ways, they look very very solid as a bowling group, but you still took them on. Mm, yeah, whatever is going on, I'm confident about Pandya's redemption coming soon. I also think Pandya will redeem himself. I also think Mumbai
I mean,
Indians
it
will
can
start
only go
winning.
upwards from here. I think it can
Yeah,
only go
obviously.
upwards from here.
I mean, if you look at the team he has got, there is no reason why he shouldn't redeem himself. If he doesn't make playoff with this team, I'd be very surprised. I'm not talking about him winning the tournament or not. That's a different question. But if he doesn't make playoff with this team, then there's something really wrong with the team or really wrong with his captaincy. Because this is a
And I
team
think
which I think a very mediocre captain can take it to a playoff.
exactly, and if this team does not make it to the playoffs, I think you need to really sack Pandya as the captain, and you need to sack Mark Boucher as the coach as well. I think
Yeah, I agree.
uh, he needs he the coach needs to instill some sort of belief in the team, and with all the, I mean, rifts of rumors and everything coming on from the management side of things, Mark Boucher is not giving you a lot of confidence if you are a MI fan.
I agree. One way is that you are not going to get any backing from the owners as well if you're going to not make it a playoff after you are having possibly one of the best teams. Next year's mega auction, anyways. And I think with whatever has happened, I don't see Rohit Sharma or some of the big names staying in Mumbai Indians. So obviously they would want to make a move, and Pandya will have a lot to prove. And I think Mumbai Indians will start winning once they go back to Wankhede, which is a good possibility with the batting attack, with the batting lineup they've gotten. And with what you saw today in Wankhede, I think they're going to have a better time with shorter boundaries, better pitch. I think Mumbai Indians could be possibly unstoppable, but it also comes down to captaincy, right? You can't keep making blunderous decisions and poor bowling choices time and time again because now you would know all of the teams will have taken a note. You know what? Let's attack every ball except a Bumrah. You can still afford to play Bumrah out and put a little bit of pressure on him and score 200 or 250 runs odd. And that's going to certainly put a lot of pressure on that bowling attack. And that's not just it. Mumbai Indians will know that they'll have to be absolutely at it from here on. I mean, it's just still 2 games, but you don't want to keep losing. It's not a good thing because these games might just come to haunt you in the end.
Exactly. And I think, but 2 games done, I think Mumbai Indians are still, they still have the team and they still have the firepower in them to really make it to the playoffs. And we see Mumbai Indians really surge towards the later end of the tournament. So you can really forget the first 5-6 games.
Yeah, Teju says getting booed everywhere, even in Hyderabad, and getting trolled everywhere where its management is at fault. He's getting heat at this point. He's faking himself. Imagine getting booed its effects.
No, I mean, I
To
understand
be
Teju,
very
but
honest,
then
yes,
again, he is not. He's not making a statement, or the body language that he is. I mean, the body language that we are getting to see is not really uh, one of that of under pressure. He looks like he's really.
very
I mean,
true.
he is putting on a
That's what
show as if
Teju's
he's
trying to say.
really
He's made
enjoying.
faking himself that
Yeah,
what,
exactly.
nothing is wrong. But after this, I don't want Pandya to be India's T20 captain in T20 World Cup. I don't. I don't think he's a captain for the T20 World Cup, but certainly going to be one for the future. A person with real character shows when things goes opposite. Let's see how Pandya will respond. Obviously, now there is only one way up for Pandya. I think he's received a lot of flack. You saw two ways. You saw two sides of the coin when it comes to that Rohit Sharma move, right? He told Rohit Sharma to go to the boundary, but in the same game, there were instances which a lot of people did not see in the media was Rohit Sharma also did control the field a little bit. There were enough
Yeah,
communication between Rohit Sharma and Pandya, and even in today's game, you saw a fair amount of communication from Rohit Sharma to Pandya and Rohit Sharma to the bowlers as well. So
exactly.
I don't think
No,
I
I
don't
see.
think we
I
should be going
see.
out there and
I have
commenting.
two sides of, like you mentioned. There are two sides to it. I mean, the flag that he's receiving for being the captain of Mumbai Indians is really unjustified, because that you as a player can keep any clause in your contract. It's upon the management to accept it or deny it. And Mumbai Indians felt that they needed a Hardik Pandya for the future. They got him in. There is
Yeah,
completely nothing wrong with it, and the flag that he is receiving for that is totally, uncalled for. But the
yeah.
other side of it, the side that he's portraying on the field, at least so far in the first two games, hasn't been really good. From a captaincy point of view, he has been very mediocre. I think it is affecting his performance with the bat as well. In
I think there's a
recent
lot
times,
of
we have seen
pressure on him to prove himself in this season. It is unlike a
exactly.
GT, right? No, what happened to GT was nobody expected that team to do well. And especially the first season with the kind of team they had, them winning was a big underdog story in itself, to be very
Exactly
honest.
why we will see the likes of Shubman Gill play a more fearless brand of cricket than Pandya in this season. Even a Rituraj
Absolutely,
Gaikwad.
I agree. I agree. I mean, GT winning the last season, winning the season before that was a big deal. To be honest, nobody expected them, and nobody wrote them even in the top four of any picks. And for them to go on to win, he had zero pressure. It was a new franchise. Nobody had expectations. And the very next year, the same thing, right? Though they had to defend the crown, the atmosphere was chilled, and the fact that they were defending champions really helped them to carry that forward. But come to Mumbai with all the pressure and flack around, there is a desperation for him to win this season. And anything
Obviously,
less
and
than an
also
IPL
I'll tell you
trophy is a
what
lot of
really
pressure.
annoys me. There is only one point that really annoys me about Hardik Pandya is that he never admits to mistakes on the field. And right after, if you see or if you hear any of his post-match conferences or post-match interviews, even in the series against West Indies, he was like, "We have youngsters. We are here to learn. There is nothing wrong in losing one game." That happened, and then we went on to lose the series, and then there was nothing. I mean, there was nothing on his end admitting to his wrongdoings or admitting to the lack of experience that he had while captaining inexperienced side. And same we saw in today's interview as well. He was like, all everything is good, everything is jolly, we are really enjoying it. It's nothing, only we considered only 277, but we also scored 246. So I think the bowlers bowled well, the batters did their job. It's just that we ended on the wrong side of a massive record.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel he needs a lot of maturity at this point. He seems to be a little wayward here and there, and his statements are not really helping him either. And it's possibly the worst time to be Hardik Pandya at this point, and I really wish him the best, because for me, I personally feel a person of Hardik Pandya's stature or of Hardik Pandya's caliber, where he can possibly reach with the talent he's gotten, with the team he's gotten, is just limitless. Because I just feel sky is the limit for someone like Hardik Pandya with the team he's gotten, and also for him as an all-rounder. He can really redeem himself and make a statement that I'm the best fast bowling all-rounder in India, and there's no doubt about it, to be very honest.
And
And
I
also a very
understand the
good
pressure
captain.
of captaincy, but I think Hardik Pandya can really slow down a bit. He does not need to bowl 4 overs every game,
Yeah, exactly.
because the
He doesn't
T20
have to
World Cup is
open the
coming.
bowling, to be very honest.
Exactly,
These are
and
small
I
things
think
which we really speak
these
about.
are these are the things that he does just to make a statement, and I
Yeah.
think this sort of statement usually backfires on you, and then it
I
looks
thought
bad.
in GT it worked well for him, especially him taking the new ball or him coming in at number three, number four to bat. These things were really good in that particular setup. Not in this setup. In this setup, you'll have to be much more different. You cannot do what you did in GT in a Mumbai Indian setup, because you you are expected to perform differently. And I think Hardik Pandya should go back to 2019, 18, 17, 20, how he was a part of it. I think his role is going to be the same as how he was 5 years before. I don't think his role is going to change any bit. I don't think because he went to GT, took up a different role, he should come to Mumbai and take the same role which he took up in GT. He should go back, reset himself to the role which he took up in 2017, 18, how he was a finisher, how he bowled 2 to 3 overs with the ball. And that's where Mumbai Indians were at their most successful time. They won three titles at that point of stage, and they were very successful whenever he played for Mumbai. So Hardik Pandya, sometimes I just feel there's a lot of pressure on him, as we mentioned it. There's a lot of pressure on him to prove himself and to do well. But at the same time, I also feel there is a sense of insecurity at this point in his mind. You know what? If I don't do well, I might get criticized. So why not I go out there and do well, and make a statement for myself, and rest everything will be all right. So I open the ball. If I pick up a couple of wickets, I'm doing well. So they don't have any right to criticize me. The team isn't doing well. So I hope he's not in that kind of a mind space, because Then what happens is he's putting
And
him
also, I
above
think
that
he's
team.
trying to make a point that he can bowl 4 overs right before the T20 World Cup as well. He's putting it
Akash
into the
Ambani
minds.
bamboozled after every game. I mean, to be very honest, it's a complete mess which Akash Ambani and the Reliance Group had created. Because, see, if the captaincy change would have been informed to Rohit prior to the mega auction, maybe Rohit would have moved out. This everything about this could have been sorted out way back. But for him to be, intimidated with the fact that what you're going to be removed from captaincy after mega auction to put Rohit in the same team, that was a bad move. That's why it leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth at this point with whatever has happened with
Exactly.
Mumbai, and
And I
everybody's
think
enjoying the downfall. To be honest,
yeah, obviously, and but I think to talk on the flip side, I think Sunrisers Hyderabad would be very happy with this sort of a dominating performance. A 31 runs win is a dominating performance, and they shattered almost all sorts of batting records today in the IPL at least. But also, I think to talk about Klaasen's form, I think Klaasen has been one of the best power hitters, clean power hitter in recent times. I think if you talk about form in the last 1 or 2 years, talk about hitting the spinners, talk about hitting the quality pacers. I think Klaasen is really proving to be one of the best
is
out there,
cut above the rest.
cut above the rest.
Absolutely. I think he's the best T20 batter in the world right now. I mean, there is no doubt about it. For him to come at number five and to create those impacts which he has done. Let's talk about last game. I mean, you would know it. He pulled out a game out of thin air, right? I mean, to smash Mitchell Stark the way he did, to bring that game out of absolutely nowhere. They had no business in that game. And to make it to a margin where it was 7 from 5. And this game as well. I mean, he came in a situation where the game was already set up for him. It was about him finishing, and his finish really proved to be the difference from SRH winning and Mumbai Indians winning. If you look at that pitch, if you look at those conditions, Henrik Klaasen really proves why he can play spin, he can play pace, he's got the range. I mean,
Even on the flattest
SRH,
of decks, 80 runs not out of 34 deliveries. That's 5.4 overs is a humongous task, and I think it's a
how much did he
phenomenal
score
job.
last game? A game before this, how much did he
I
score
think
in
he
previous?
scored 63 or 64 of 26, 27.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the strike rate he's batting at. It's about 200 this IPL.
Yeah,
And that's
close to 230.
crazy. 230 strike rate in two consecutive innings. Okay, you can say it's a one-off thing, but two consecutive innings, and I only thing it's only going to get better with every game he's going to play, because that's the kind of form he's coming to this IPL. You already saw the glimpses last IPL, and even in the World Cup, you saw glimpses. I think SRH team, I think one strategy which they can follow this IPL is outbatting teams. If they continue to do that, I think they'll have a good, successful season. Like
And with
Chennai is doing
I think with
already.
Travis said, Aiden Markram and Henrik Klaasen, you have a very good core, a very good overseas core, and I think Pat Cummins being the fourth overseas options, they'll have to, if they want to outbat oppositions. I think this is the combination that you should go with.
Absolutely. And I think Indian batters are stepping up pretty decently. Abhishek Sharma's 50, let's not ignore that. I mean, what a knock did he play? The way in which he took on the spin, especially Piyush Chavla at that point of stage, and the way in which he was ready to take on every ball, even Mafaka, he just took him on. So I think, in all fairness, if this team clicks on its right ways, they can go a long way in this tournament, but provided their bowling also steps up. I don't think they'll be very happy with the bowling and conceding 246 runs at the end of the day. Last match also conceded more than 200, especially after the start they got against KKR. To concede 200 was a criminal offense from them, and once again to concede 246. And a lot of loose balls given, a lot of unwanted balls being bowled by SRs with no plan or strategy. That's what's really going to hurt them. They've gotten away a couple of times. They've gotten away once and they fell short once. To
Do
be
you
very
see
honest, that
Unadkat playing? Do you see Unadkat playing, or do you see Natarajan being back once he's
Nataraj
100%?
100%. But I don't know. I don't get the confidence in Bhuvaneshwar Kumar anymore. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar doesn't give me the confidence anymore.
I think
But he can still
Bhuvneshwar Kumar is a very good bowler in the power plays. I think today as well. I think the first 3 overs that he bowled, he considered 5 of the first over and 5 of the third over as well. Second over
yeah.
he travelled, and then the once again in the death, bowling in the death, he travels. He travelled close to some 30-35 runs of the last 2 overs in the game against KKR,
Yeah.
and today he bowled the 17th over and went for somewhere close to 20 as well.
Agreed,
So I
agreed,
think
agreed.
from
I don't
a
know.
fantasy sports fantasy pick point of view, Bhuvneshwar Kumar is not the right man to
I
have in your
prefer
team.
two pace because these flat tracks are ridiculous. I think
Yeah, I
it's
think
all
this
for the
is a
business.
this was a bit too ridiculous. You can't expect
Yeah. But I don't know if it
520.
was that flat as well. Even on road, bro, it's hard to score 277. I mean, it was
Yeah,
just good batting. I mean, I think it was just good batting. And you just saw where T20 cricket levels can be taken if you're batting fearlessly. And I'm not going to be surprised in future. You're going to see a lot more of these scores being done by a lot of teams, because now a lot of teams watching this are going to be like, you know what, let's bat fearlessly. What's going to happen? We're going to lose a match, but what if we end up scoring
KKR
200?
anyway bats fearlessly for the first 5-6 overs, and they lose 3 wickets in the power play itself
Yeah, I think
all the
they
time.
bat recklessly and not fearlessly. There's a thin line between fearless and reckless, but I think KKR have the potential to bat fearlessly as well. If KKR, if Phil Salt says, you know what, I can do the same. Let me just go out there and bash.
He started off
Same thing.
brilliantly, but he needs support from the other end.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can't have a half-committed Sunil Narayan opening and
yeah,
then the likes of
I'm surprised.
Shreyas Iyer
Yeah,
and Venkatesh Iyer giving a wicket. But
yeah, I mean,
that's
that's
not
what
the
I'd
point.
say at the end of the day. You know, they still have options. A lot of teams will take a note and be like, you know what, let's bat this way. This can bring us success. And if they go on to get success by doing the same mode, I mean, all well and good at the end of the day, isn't it? So that's about it from us for tonight. Thank you guys for joining the stream. And we'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night, all of you. We got to witness a record right in front of us today. So it's a massive day in IPL. And you almost saw a run chase where that record was going to be broken, but it just wasn't to be. Mumbai Indians lose 2-1, 2 on the bounce. SRH get one win, so SRH is 1-1, and Mumbai is a 0-2. So let's see who Delhi versus Rajasthan tomorrow. Whether Delhi can get it 1-1 or Rajasthan make it 2-0 and Delhi goes 0-2. So that's
Very
what we'll
boring
find out.
game, no? Delhi
I
versus
don't know.
Rajasthan, I
I mean,
think two
I
of
just
the
have a
most
feeling that
boring teams.
I don't know. I just have a funny feeling that maybe Delhi might just put a surprise of some sort.
Yeah, I mean they can pull up a surprise, but I think they are very boring to watch.
I think we'll talk about this in the preview that'll be released.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah.
watch this. We'll talk about this in detail. Thank you
Join us
guys and have a good
tomorrow.
night. Yeah.
Good night, guys.